times real, that's why my name's Trill. Three times real, that's why my name's Trill.
Hey, put your hands up, come on, put your hands up, put your hands up, shout out.
3 times real, that's why my name's Trill. Three times real, that's why my name's Trill.
Hey, put your hands up, come on, put your hands up, put your hands up, now I hop on the scene with some banging dope beats with a top notch.
All right, the next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is how should judges score rounds? You have Chris Arreola feeling like the judges did him wrong. You have Derek Ward Chisora feeling like the judges did him wrong. So we're going to discuss this. How do you feel like the judges should score rounds? We're going to turn this over to the commish Trill Dollar Bill.
Yeah, right off the rip. Clean, effective punches, effective aggression. And everything that they say how they're supposed to score the fight. Mm-hmm. That's how you're supposed to score the fight. And then, some people get tripped up. Just because somebody's coming forward, it doesn't mean it's effective aggressiveness. And just because a person's throwing punches doesn't mean that they're clean, effective shots. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I, myself, the commissioner, Trill Dollar Bill, scores a fight.
How you score a fight again, Trill? I just need to see again. How do you...
Clean, effective aggressiveness with clean, effective shots. Trill Dollar Bill, the commission, and ring generalship, and also we always growing up watching boxing, we always said that it's a simple way. Me and bro, we used to watch fights with people and, our friends and all that or whatever. And they would come around and they'd be like, how y'all scoring the fight? And we'll get so aggravated with them. We'll just be like, who would you rather be? Just score the fight who would you rather be? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes in fights, it don't work out like that. Because it could be a guy whose face looks a mess. And that has something to do with just his, and you've seen it a lot of times. People be like, but look at his face. His face is messed up. You know what I'm saying? But he was the one that was, landing the cleaner shots. He was landing the more or cleaner shots. So this is how these people win. But that's how I score a fight. And that's how I think all judges should score a fight. Sometimes I believe that judges, because they're human, some people get involved in everything else is going on, spectacles and stuff like that, and favoritism sometimes do play a part. But how should judges score rounds? I think they should score rounds with ring generalship, clean, effective shots, and also effective aggressiveness.
All right, Conspiracy.
See, I agree with everything Trill was saying. However, it's more nuanced than that, right? Because again, for one, it's subjective. Another thing, a judge is at one angle in the ring, right? So they're at one side, they're seeing certain things. Another judge is seeing other things, right? Sometimes, they hear the audience, right? The audience, there's times a dude would not land. He'll hit the glove. Everyone's cheering, like, yo! But then on the replay, you see, oh, that didn't even connect. You know what I mean? But the judges hear all of that, So that's affecting them, And so, and another thing too, I guess ring generalship is probably, to me, maybe the most controversial out of all the criteria, right? Because it's and I'll use what's his name, Chisora and Parker as an example, right? Now, when it comes to who is dictating the pace of the fight, right? At least I think for the majority of the fight, it was Chisora, right? Now, but if a person's fighting off the back foot, but they're connecting with clean shots, I'm still going to get to the dude that's landing with clean shots. But what happens when the person who's the aggressor is coming forward, hitting you, you're moving back and you're not landing with clean shots, and then they show on the replay, you're landing a jab or two, but you're taking a few hooks in the process, right? So then it's now it's what do you favor more, right? Do you favor the jab or do you favor the hook to the body, right? And let's say both parties aren't really connected cleanly. Then I have to go, well, who's dictating the pace, right? Who's the aggressor? Who's forcing the other guy to move back, right? And so I usually go with the aggressor on that end, unless the person that's playing defense is landing clean shots. So that's why I'm saying it's more nuanced than that, because there's certain scenarios, certain rounds where it's like it could go either way based upon how you favor a style, right?
Yeah, but I don't mean to cut you off, G. But like when you mentioned the Joseph Parker and Chisora thing, sometimes it was being like a bull versus the matador. You know what I'm talking about? When you coming forward, you coming forward aggressive, but he was getting hit with some joints. He was getting hit with clean combinations. So I just want to say that's the difference. You might go for the aggressive because he's coming forward and he's going off the bad part. But once he's and then he get up out of there, you know what I'm saying? Like
rounds that I gave to Parker, but then there's rounds where Parker's not doing that, right? And I don't want to just keep it to just the Chisora part, right? Because even with the
on all fights, like when
G, what body work though, G? This is why I tell people you can't listen to the commentary, but what body work? Yo, in the 12th round, Joseph Parker was so fresh. Like my dude, what body work? Like
I was in the 11th round.
He was tapping the body and whatever, but he wasn't doing no body work.
I was saying if he was doing any body work, he wouldn't look like that in the 11th round.
Yeah. In the 11th round, Joseph looking good because he wasn't doing no body work. He's doing the show. He's standing there doing, bro.
I'm not even counting
what De La Hoya did to Mayweather. He's doing, bro. It was no body work, dog. If there was body work, Joseph wouldn't have been looking that fresh in the 11th and 12th round.
Let's see. Now, again, y'all bringing it back to just that. I'm just saying in general, and then now I'm going to go into like the Ruiz Areola, right? So now with Areola, he's known for the aggressor in most fights. This fight, he was like, nah, you know what? I'm going to wait for Ruiz to shoot out, and I'm going to counter, right? Now, Ruiz was throwing more punches, but Areola had the cleaner shots in a lot of those rounds to me, but because of the volume from Ruiz, I still gave some of those rounds to Ruiz because of the volume. You get what I'm saying? So it's like clean, effective shots, but then what if a person's just out punching you? You gotta give it to the person that's out punching you, So that's why I'm like, you can see it different ways, right? It's really like, what do you favor on that day, And some judges are just consistent. They like a certain particular style. Like if you're a pure boxer, they like a pure boxer style over a brawler anytime, right? Certain people just judge that way, and so it's to me, I try to be as objective as possible. I try to look at different styles. I try to see like, okay, does this style work in this fight? Like, is it effective or not? Right. And so that's why it's tough. I'm saying there's criteria. However, there's so many layers to the criteria. That's why I think like a lot of fans are really having like these debates. It's because it's not as clear as we want it to be. That's what I'm saying.
It even in that fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want people to, like, when I mean clean, effective shot, say if I'm in a fight, right? And I hit somebody, with one clean, effective shot, that don't mean he won the round and this guy is over here doing work. No, I think that these judges know what they're doing. It's a part where there's a different type of fan. You know what I'm saying? A fan who is a fan of their favorite fighters, and they root for their favorite fighters, and then there's fans who's a fans of boxing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's who's scoring these fights. And it was a thing that they used to always tell my son in Pop Warner football. Do your job. That's all these judges got to do. Not worried about what the crowd is doing. They got to focus on what they job in hand. There was a fight that happened last week where a young lady was scoring the fight. And what was she doing while all the other judges were sitting down? She was standing up. She was standing up. She was coming to the side, walking over. You know why? Because she wanted to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to get it right. So it's up to the judges to do the due diligence and for them to score the fight right. But I think it really comes into like, when are you into the sport? Are you in here as a fan of the boxers, or are you in here as fans of boxing? You fans of boxing, it's cut dry. There's no reason why you should get these scorecards wrong. We know what clean, effective shots is. We know what clean aggressiveness is. We know if somebody's coming in and they're throwing some shots, they're the ones making the fight. That's the difference. Like if somebody's just throwing one clean shot, but then there's a guy that's coming and making the fight, like that goes with ring generalship. So I think that it's clear. I just think that some judges, I think the whole judges system needs to be revamped. I think we need to get new judges and new eyes in there. I said that before. You look down at some of these judges is 89, 95 some years old. You know what I'm saying? But that's another subject.
I'm trying to wait for my. There's a lot of stuff going on and some good things that I want to jump in on. One, I think the judges did a great job this week, especially the judges in the UK. It would have been easy to rob Joseph Parker. I wouldn't say rob, but it would have been easy to give the decision to Derek Chisora and be like, hey, he won and whatever. But they did the right thing, and that's respect. And I wrote that. Shout out to the judges in the UK for doing the right thing. And someone said that like I'm an idiot or whatever, but that's the truth. So respect to the judges. That's what's going to make people have faith and be willing to go to the UK. But true, you pointed out something. Clean, effective punches. To me, this Derek Chisora, Joseph Parker debate doesn't even exist. And here's how you know it doesn't exist. Only one shot even came close to hurting Joseph Parker, and it was an illegal one. Joseph Parker hurt Derek Chisora numerous times during the fight, which shows he was landing the more effective punches. So regardless of what y'all people think about Derek Ward Chisora, he wasn't landing the harder punches. He wasn't hurting Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker buzzed Derek Chisora.
Just coming forward.
I remember there was one time he buzzed Derek Chisora and everyone was, oh, he's hurt. And Chisora tried to front and started talking like he wasn't hurt, but he went laying against the ropes and you could tell he didn't throw no punches. Man, Joseph Parker, who would you have rather been? Seriously, come on, man. Joseph Parker destroyed the dude, man. Like, let's be real. He landed the cleaner, harder, more effective shots. How do I know? He hurt Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora never hurt him with the exception of a foul. And if you take away that foul that Derek Chisora fans are relying on, the fight wouldn't even have been close at all. So, like, again, this is why we need replay in the sport of boxing because it's easy. You look at it. Everyone and their mama saw was a punch behind the back of the head. Even Tony Bellew, and I think Tony Bellew does a great job, but he has emotional attachments to fighters, and Derek Chisora is one of them. And I can understand why. You just want to see Del Boy win. But even he admitted that Joseph Parker probably could have stopped him. At the end, what Trill's saying is true. There's the aggression that Del Boy was putting on Joseph Parker, but it wasn't effective because he didn't hurt Joseph Parker. You talking about these body punches, they didn't slow Joseph Parker down. However, Joseph, when he was throwing, he was hurting Del Boy. When Joseph was throwing, he was rocking Del Boy. That's clean, effective punches. Neil, that's what we're talking about. It's evident when you're watching, not from a fan's perspective, but who is doing what they want to do in the ring. Yeah, Del Boy is bringing the pressure. Yeah, Del Boy's doing this, but he's not landing the shots that are hurting the other guy. He
wasn't Canelo on Callum Smith.
Exactly.
That's effective aggressiveness.
And this is where Trill gets in. This is the last thing I'll say. This is where Trill gets in with the bull and the matador. If every time you rush me, majority of the time, it ends with me hurting you, who's doing what they want to do?
All right, so I'll just finish with this. I'll throw a curveball, right? And I'll give two examples of where judging is more complex than what you two gentlemen are. I feel like you're implying in this segment. The two fights, Timothy Bradley versus Pacquiao 1, and Triple G versus Canelo 1, right? When you look at those fights, like I could see both sides of how people were judging, you know, who thought this person won versus the other person, right? Even though I'm strongly on, you know, y'all know my views on those two fights. I thought Canelo won that one, and I thought Timothy Bradley won that.
We all in agreement.
But I understand, you know how many people I done fought over that? You know how many debates that I had in this Triple G and Pacquiao situation? So, like, the way people look at fights doesn't mean everyone sees it the same way.
Don't have some people misguide you, G.
No,
you know, and this is what happens. No, this is what happens. When you start scoring the fights right, like how you said you scored those two fights, and then you having arguments with people, they start making you think that what you doing is messed up. And it's not, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
To be cool, what's the name? To see it too many ways. Oh, how this person might see the fight, or how this might person be. Nah, you don't have to be selective. You score the fight right how you gonna score the fight. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate how this person might see it, or how this person might see it.
I'll end with this because I do see what you're saying. However, I always try to put myself in the shoes of other type of styles, right? So like a Chisora, it's like to me, I prefer boxers over brawlers, right? But however, it's like, yo, that's his style, man. So it's like I have to see it from if Chisora is doing what he's doing in that ring and he's getting to the body and the boxer rather just hold and wait for the referee to break him up and stuff like that. Then I go like, you know what? I might edge that round to Chisora. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I don't like that style, I really don't. I'm being honest. I'm a fan of these guys, all of them, right? The heavyweight division, but I'm not like, yesterday was actually great for me. I didn't have a dog in either of those fights. So it was cool for me just to watch it and not be stressed out for like, I haven't been stress free in a long time in the heavyweight division. So when I watch these fights, I was just like, yo, I don't really care who wins. You know what I mean? But to me, I give credit where credit's due. And I felt like Chisora did a lot of work. And, Parker, even though a lot of those shots, Parker really wasn't landing. And watching on the second go around, Parker didn't do that much for me. So then it's like, all right, let's say Parker did land a jab in one round, right? But every other shot he missed. And there was a few rounds where it's like, if he landed, it was really off the glove or stuff like that. So it's like, do I give Parker that round? You know what I'm saying? But then you look at Chisora, like in that same round, Chisora, you're pressing the action, but you didn't really land anything either. Mm-hmm. Then I go, I'm going to give it to the person that's dictating the pace, which was Chisora. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's layered. It's not as clear cut as we want.
The first time you watched the fight, did you score the fight?
Nah, but I thought.
This is what I'm saying. Now you're a human. You know what I'm saying? Like even after me going back and watching the highlights, I was feeling a little favoritism. You know what I'm saying? Especially because you heard his passion after him talking. You hear that? You know what? I'm gonna go watch this fight again. And then you start saying like, I see.
That's a good point, though. That is a good point. So you're right. You know what? You got that, bro.
So it sounds like you're speaking from experience, bro.
I am. Listen, bro, you know how I done went through heartbreaks with these fighters. Heartbreaks with these fighters.
Yo, bro, I'm gonna tell you.
You know how everybody knows. Everybody know I love Kaden. Ain't no secret. That's my brother. I done kicked him out of my house over Deb Judah Costa Zoo, him and Big Mo. So I understand, G.
Nah, Trill, that's another great point that you brought up, because sometimes you can be swayed by what other people are saying and what you hear other people saying. So then you start watching the fight looking for what you heard, or from a biased perspective. Like, we've been there before, man. I've watched the fights looking for what I see. That's why I say this to people all the time. I don't want to hear what you say. I like Derek Chisora. Is still, although his fans kind of got on my nerves yesterday, he's still one of my favorite boxers. Rewind the tape. I've been saying this. I love watching him. He gives it all in the ring, but he didn't beat Usyk. I heard people trying to say he beat Usyk, and he didn't beat Parker, bro. He lost to them both the same exact way. You almost run the tape, the same exact stuff. With the set, Usyk didn't get knocked down by a rabbit punch. And that's another thing. Derek Chisora should have been penalized for all the rabbit punching. Nobody says anything about that. I was so glad when Joseph started punching him back in the back of the head.
Facts.
But come on, man. Like y'all see what y'all want to see from y'all perspective. Derek Chisora was hitting Joseph Parker behind the head all night. Joseph Parker finally got upset and said, if the ref's not going to do anything, I'm going to hit him back in the back of the head. So come on, man. Let's just be real. This wasn't a robbery. I don't even know why we keep talking about Derek Chisora and Joseph Parker. Yo, I've seen closer fights. I've seen more controversial decisions in my life. That wasn't one of them. To me, it was clear and evident that Joseph Parker won, especially when you factor in Derek Chisora's best argument is the fact he knocked him down in the first round, and that was based on a foul. Stop it.
And then just to add, what y'all explaining is confirmation bias. You're looking for your argument. So it's like you're forgetting what the other fighter's doing. You're just like, yo, but you see what you saw just did right there? So that's why I was like, you know what, Trill, I could give you that, man, because, you know.
G, you already know.
We human.
Bro, you already know, G.
Yeah, we human.
Let us know how you feel.
Actually, bro, Ned hasn't gone.
Oh, we was rocking. Yo, listen.
Listen.
Yo, like we kicking, like we talking about.
Yo, and I still got points that I didn't make.
Go ahead, Nick.
I don't want to hold it up anymore. You guys said what y'all had to say. I felt the judges got it right. Chisora did not win that fight last night. Chisora was not robbed, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
No, but that the question is, how should judges score rounds?
Unbiasedly. That's all I gotta say. Unbiasedly. Simple as that.
No, man.
That was deep.
Ned broke it down real quick. Actually, we already said a lot of great points, but I just want to highlight a few things. So to me, when you look at some fights, right, I look at Floyd Mayweather, to me, who's arguably the greatest technical fighter of all time, right? And I say arguably again, I'm not here to get in the debates. You can like who you like. I don't really care. Like, I love boxing. I appreciate all the great fighters. But Floyd Mayweather, arguably the greatest technical fighter of all time, right? You look at his fight against, say, someone like Marcos Maidana, and some people argue Maidana beat Floyd, right? Why are they arguing this? Because he threw so many punches per round, and he was putting on the pressure, right? Now, Floyd was sharpshooting him. Floyd was landing the cleaner punches. Floyd's glove. If this was amateurs, who's landing the scoring punches, right? That's why they do this in the amateurs. For people who don't know, that's why they keep this part of the glove white, and they say, oh, this is what counts. Because the people land all types of crap, that don't make it an effective punch, right? Like Chisora throwing all his crap, but don't make it an effective punch. That's why they say scoring blows. That's why they call it scoring blows, right? Who's landing the scoring blows? And I feel this sad I even have to break this down to some people, but some of the crap that Chisora even lands wouldn't score in the amateurs, but you wanted to score on a professional level. All right, now getting back to it, right? Who's landing the scoring blows? Now, Floyd Mayweather is landing clean, effective punches on Maidana, but he's setting the pace. He's keeping the pressure. He's winging all these shots, all types of shots, once again, that aren't scoring blows, right? Just trying to put gloves on him anywhere. For the novice to see gloves touching Floyd and say, well, Maidana won. But anybody with any semblance of boxing knowledge who knows what a scoring blow is understands that Maidana didn't win. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what causes issues. If you want to get an argument that you beat a good technical boxer, adopt the Derek Chisora, Delphine Pursoon, Marcos Maidana strategy. Bull rush him, swing wild, go crazy for as long as you can last, and hope that people gave you those rounds so they can argue that you won the fight. That's how you do it. Sean Porter. That's how you do it. Okay, and I'm glad you brought that up because it's a Sean Porter type of strategy. Well, it worked for Sean Porter sometimes. He got the decision over Danny, although Danny landed 42% of his power punches and landed the cleaner shots. I'm consistent. I thought Danny won that fight because of that. But Sean Porter I'm not going to argue. Did Porter take some rounds? Yeah, he took some rounds. It is what it is. But if you ask me, who looked like the real boxer in the ring? Who was the skilled boxer? Who landed the clean, effective scoring punches? It was Danny Garcia. But again, this is what we talk about in boxing. I'll give you another fight. Jean Pascal versus Badu Jack. Badu Jack won that fight, bro. But Pascal was wild, crazy, landing punches on the gloves. The judges probably thought it was scoring. They gave him a fight, but Badu Jack boxed his head off, bro. And this is what I'm talking about. You got but Badu Jack didn't get the decision. They gave the decision to Jean Pascal.
That's a person that they don't like.
Yeah, I think a lot of judging is political. You know what I mean? Like which network and promoters are backing which fighter. And, you know, these dudes get invited to dinners, the judges and everything. That was all corrupt, man. It's crazy, you know.
And that's and so I'm gonna break it down to you because I got one more example I want to make, and then I'm done. So what one type of style that causes controversy is the bull rush. I'm just gonna call it the bull rush. Mm-hmm. From the time the bell rings, you just bull rush someone. You hit them anywhere, not scoring blows. Remember, scoring blows, landing with like your knuckle area. Boom, 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 boom. right? No, they just hit with anything. Just go crazy. Go crazy for the entire 3 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever. Go crazy. Put gloves on them. And a technical boxer is not going to engage you in that sloppiness. They're going to try to control the chaos. They're going to try. And what was the number one thing Floyd said when he went back to the corner and he was talking to his dad after Maidana did what he did? He said, "Oh, he's going to get tired. He's going to get tired." So this is all they did was wait for him to get tired, and then they sharpshooted him, right? So there's the bull rush versus technical boxer. Right, and if you can't outbox someone, just bull rush them and throw all you got and hope that you can survive and hope that people are going to say you're going to say you won the fight, i.e. Derek Chisora, i.e. Delphine Pursuit. Now, the other style is the runner, right? The runner is a guy who will pop you with 2 shots or whatever and then run around the ring, right? And you're chasing them and you're chasing them. Now, if you can never touch the runner's going to win. But there are times where the runner gets hit. There are times where the runner gets hurt. And there's times that a guy is running because they got hurt.
Or what if the runner is running excessively?
But that's what I'm getting at.
All right.
The runner, from the beginning of the fight, if you first of all, if you can't put your hands on the runner, you're going to lose. So they're just going to hit you, move, and you're going to lose. But there are those fights where the runner does get someone can cut off the ring. They get the runner. They clip the runner a few times, and then the runner runs around and then lands little punches. Now it becomes a debate. Well, who won? Right? For me, it's very simple. If you are landing good punches off the back foot, you are winning the fight. Mm-hmm. So if you're moving, but you're landing clean punches and you're landing shots, and you look at punch stat numbers and it says more punches landed by this guy, and more importantly than punch stat numbers, you see it with your own eyes that this person is landing more, then I don't care if that person's moving around on the back foot running, that person is winning. But if a person is running because they're hurt, to me, that's a different ball game. If you get hurt and then you start running, to me, you're running because you're hurt. And now I have to look at it a little bit differently. So you look at like Oscar De La Hoya versus Felix Trinidad, and that was a controversial decision. I can see the arguments for going both ways. De La Hoya won a box match, but Tito started coming on, and then De La Hoya ran like the last 4 rounds. Tito got the decision. That's one where people talk about. Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia is one that comes to mind for me, of a guy just getting on his bike and just moving around. So then you have that. At the end of the day, though, you're supposed to judge based on who landed the more quality shots and who's doing what they are trying to do in the ring. We're never going to get it right. There's always going to be someone who disagrees. There's always going to be someone who's saying that it's Rob. But in the end, it may just be as simple as Ned said. Just be unbiased and score it for the person you really think won. That's it.
I got to just ask. This is a crooked figure one. Can I just ask questions to all 3 of y'all gentlemen? Laura versus Canelo. Who would y'all have? And the reason why I'm asking that is because, to me, Laura was running excessively, but he was connecting some shots. And Canelo was trying to chase after him the entire fight, but Canelo still got the victory. You get what I'm saying? And I was even mad at Canelo for winning because I was like, God damn, Laura, like, why you keep running, bro? Like,
Canelo. I gave that fight to Canelo.
I did too, but I can understand why Laura, you know what I mean, because he was
He did. Look, Laura did. He ran a little too much.
He ran a lot.
He fought a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
He fought a good fight, but he did a little too much. He didn't do no rolling with the. He just got up out of there.
Yeah, he did.
It's a difference.
He did the last round against Danny Garcia. Like, I'm just gonna start doing laps. You know what I'm saying?
I scored that fight for Laura by 1 point. Mm-hmm. But when Canelo got the decision, I wasn't mad because I do feel like towards the end he started running excessively. Mm-hmm. And I scored it. I scored I think like a swing round for him before, like one round where I felt like he ran a little too much, but I like the work that he did. Yeah. Still. And so I understood Canelo getting the decision. That's why I don't argue with it.
Yeah, like you do. He did a good 30 minutes, a good 30 seconds worth of good work.
Exactly. But that's what it was.
That brings up another argument, though. A guy is winning 2 2 minutes 30 seconds of a round, and then someone throws has a good 30 seconds, should they take the round? But it is what it is. When all is said and done, I wasn't upset with that decision.
Yeah, but that's a good point though. I would say it depends on how hard that punch was to steal the round, because a lot of dudes be trying to steal rounds.
If you hit somebody and you stagger them and got them walking, hey, you got that round. You stole that round.
He was losing that whole fight in the last 10 seconds. He hit Kobe with an uppercut, and when he's walking to his corner, he's like, got the spaghetti legs, bro. You won that round to me, But it is what it is.
Yo, I thought that this was a good segment, y'all. It was fire segment. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And also, please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We went in on this one. We're the Boxing Bros.
Peace.
You're welcome. You're all